I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. Is anyone still here? Hey, there we go, Martin. Welcome. I got this from. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's Nyclean. Nyclean products from Shay. He saw that I was struggling with my flat surface cleaner, and he's sent me a straight adapter for it instead of the wiggly wiggly, which was very kind of him. So I was talking about it on the stream last week. Let's have a look at Luke's pictures. So, I mean, that looks good. You can see there's definitely black spots there, but I'm sure the customer's happy. I mean, going from this and that to the result that you've produced, some of that is fossil. So down, I can't make the picture any bigger, but down on the bottom left there, and in the middle here, where my mouse is, that's fossilized. So that's part of the stone, so you're not going to clear that, but I can still see a decent amount of black spots. The resins come up well. Did you use hypo on the resin as well? If you write your name on the drive. Yeah, I mean, the resins come up well. It's still quite dark, isn't it? So there's the before picture of the path. And then there's the after. So, I mean, you've made a significant improvement, haven't you? Let's be honest. I don't think the customer can be too disappointed with that. Oh, that one looks good. But I suppose if you're a bit of a perfectionist, I can see why you'd be a bit frustrated about some of these black spotted areas. I think yours looks better than mine did today. And we're back in the mix. Welcome back, everyone. We've successfully lost all of our viewers, and now the video that's been uploaded is you know, when this VOD, when the stream gets uploaded to my YouTube channel afterwards, it's going to be in 2 separate parts now, which might not seem like a big deal, but it's incredibly frustrating. These are little things I think about that stop me sleeping at night. Darren said I'm allowed to talk about the new machine that he's putting out. That was 2 applications, also fully neat, but thanks for looking, mate. I appreciate it. So that was neat. I mean, the fact that you've even gone in neat shows dedication, because that's a hell of a lot of product on a surface that big. I mean, in a few areas, if you're going to go in a few areas neat, I don't blame you. But to go over the whole thing neat is that's dedication. I don't think I could have done. I don't think I could have gone neat on that huge job we had today. It's just too much. Would have been too much. So Darren is going to be supplying it's a new machine, I suppose, with all the right bits, just doing a launch. We have 2 power options available, 2 engine options available, and we call it the affordable performance for $1,000 from $1,000 plus VAT. So it's Comes in the classic colours. I don't know much about it yet. But to be able to recommend... Is it a Briggs engine? It looks kind of like a Briggs engine to me. No idea what that pump is. But this one's going to be like a proper return to tank jobby as well. So you'll see a lot of machines for under £1,000 that don't have the return to tank bypass. So when you come off the trigger, my understanding is when you come off the trigger, if you don't have return to tank, the water circulates in the pump. And so eventually that water is going to get super hot. And it's going to start to cause some damage if you leave your machine running for too long without pressing the trigger. Whereas if you've got a return to tank bypass on there, that water is going to have to heat up the rest of the tank as well. So if you've got a 250 litre tank, that water is going to recirculate until the water inside the tank gets too hot, which is unlikely. I mean, there's no reason you'd be running it for that long to cause any to cause that to happen, but it means you can run your machine for much longer without potentially causing damage. Darren's just texted me the info as well, actually. Hello, Darren. You right, mate? Same as the Hyundai, but has a return to tank. Impressive, that 25. I don't know if it's the same as the Hyundai, because it might be a different engine. Let's have a look on the message. I think he's Facebooked at me. Is Sophie's head okay? She did get quite drunk. She was fine. She was absolutely fine. Very, very frustrating that to a thing that I'd organised to go to, I wasn't able to have a drink. It was through choice. It was my choice, and she was. The Alpha Core range. Called it the Alpha Core. I like that better than the other name that you were going to give it. So, starter entry products are notoriously sold with lower quality parts, often missing important features to make them reliable when worked out in the field. That's very true. Good that you've done this little write-up. 2 outstanding performance versions. 15 litre at 275 bar. That's an interesting choice. Or a 19 litre per minute at 220 bar. That's going to be a bit of a beast. You don't often see... I mean, 15 litre per minute, it's normally either a 200 or a 250. So going 275, much higher pressure than what you'd generally see. And then a 19 litre per minute, not a 21, 19 litre per minute. And instead of being 200 bar, it's 220 bar. So that's quite interesting as well. Premium pump. What kind of premium pump, Darren? Does it say? Separate unloader valve. So that's another key feature that some of these, some of the cheaper machines, they'll have a pump with a built-in unloader valve that you can't remove or can't upgrade, can't disassemble. It's sort of built into the body of the pump. So that's a benefit. Return to tank system, we've just been through that. You get 10 meter twin wire hose. Alpha trigger gun, which I think is essentially an ST2600, I think. With a 900mm lance, so that'll be like a Q trigger, which is good. Quick release nozzle set, inlet filter, snap fit quick release couplings, 15 horsepower, reliable overhead valve design, 4-stroke Euro V engine, Briggs & Stratton. I knew it was a Briggs & Stratton just by looking at it. God, how good am I? Low tone muffler. Nice. There you go. The pictures haven't loaded. It's an AR pump, the same family as our premium range. There you go. Yeah, I don't see any pictures on that website. Good luck with your new business, pal. Dave, who are you talking to? Oh, Jargi. Hi, mate. I'm 20 years old, unhappy at work. Found your videos and wanted to give it a shot. Got my first job this weekend on my girlfriend's house, pressure washing. Watch your videos to prepare. Just wanted to say thanks for the videos. Oh, mate. Awesome. I'm very happy to have helped in some way, I suppose. Very cool. Let us know how you get on. Send me some photos on Instagram or something. My machine doesn't have a return to tank. Do you think it's possible to fit one? Potentially. Yes. It's hard to say without seeing the pump. You might want to talk to someone who's a bit more technical than me. Someone like Darren. Or someone like Ben from Rutland Pumps, or someone like Conrad from AC Pressure Washers, or someone like Ollie from Pressure Washer Sales and Service. If you want to get in contact with these people, go onto my website, smout.club. Just type into your browser, smout.club, and go onto my trusted suppliers. And these are the people that I'd recommend here. Not in any particular order. I'd say gutter vacuum systems are more for obviously gutter vacuums. Gardener are more for like water-fed poles and window cleaning equipment. But the other four will have you covered. Good night, Simon. Thanks for popping in. Manny Hypo doesn't work on grease. You'd be better off with a degreaser and heat. I'm cleaning a 300 meter square for a curry company. The area is loading area where at least half of the area is covered by grease. Would you know if Hypo would work on this? Thinking about going neat. I wouldn't go in neat on 300 square meters of anything. That would be a terrible waste of product. But like Darren says, depending on what sort of grease it is, I mean, Darren, wouldn't XTX I'm talking to, wouldn't you think that depending on what sort of grease it is, like if it's organic, like oil and stuff, olive oil maybe, would Hypo work on olive oil? Some kind of organic oil. But if it is just like, your best bet would be definitely Synergy anyway, like a degreaser. And apparently you can, I've had weird experiences with mixing Synergy and Hypo, but apparently Synergy is Hypo safe, so you could go in with, you could mix the two together, do like a 5-to-1 mix, or like maybe like a 6 or 7-to-1 mix of Hypo, and then a 1-to-10 mix of Synergy maybe, or less than that if it's really bad, maybe 1-to-5 of Synergy, I don't know. Mix them together, and then you've got, it's like bleach, so you're sterilising the area and you're also degreasing it. Yeah, like Luke says, definitely recommend the Pure Seal course if you're new. Even if you're not new, it's a great foundational knowledge. After Dash, ask Jake about the sponsored by Howden's badminton face-off coming soon. Maybe. Darren reckons he'd beat me at badminton. He reckons he was a D1 champion or something. You never know. Let's have a look at these pickies. Oh, that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, the website didn't load properly for me. No, Daz, just no. Okay. That's the end of that conversation then. Oh, sorry, you did continue to type something. Jump the gun, sorry. Hi, Kieran. Evening, ladies. Washi and I have gone national. We're on a commercial job in Nottingham on Thursday. Ooh. Congratulations. What sort of job is it, Steve? Ideally something with caustic soda in it for grease, but I'm not sure on what product has it in here in the UK. I met Doug Flynn. I've met him before actually at the Sausage Fest, but I met him at the Pure Seal party, and I think he recognised me, but he didn't know my name, and so he sort of leaned in and went, "Mould." I went, "What?" He went, "Mould." And I couldn't work out what he was saying. I knew he was saying mould, but I didn't know why he was saying that to me. For like, we hadn't even spoken, and then he just comes up to me from across the table and just goes, "Mould." "No, I've seen you before. I've seen you before. I can't picture you. I can't put the name to the face," or whatever his accent is. I said, but my name's Jake Smelt." He went, "Smelt, not mould, Smelt." I was like, "What? You thought my name was Mould?" And to be fair, he said if it was my channel or my business, I'd call it Mould, because that's, I'm a marketing genius. I was like, what the hell? He's not wrong. Mould would have probably been more appropriate for the channel name. I didn't know whether to be offended or to laugh. There's no reason to be offended. I was only joking. Found it very funny. Oh, has anyone got any questions? Anything they want to talk about before I shoot off? Because, like I said, I'm not really particularly feeling it tonight. I've spoken about everything I wanted to speak about. Synergy, TFR, Max Clean all contain sodium hydroxide caustic soda. There you go. Look at Matt with the chemical knowledge. Commercial gutter clearing and skylights. Well done, Steve. That should be a nice one. They use caustic soda to clean ovens, so it's good for grease. There you go. That's, yeah. Good point. Was watching HK and he really pushed for a commercial for monetary purposes. So good luck for the job. Yeah, I've noticed he's been doing lots of brick cleaning lately, lots of new builds, which I don't think I'd enjoy, to be honest. I don't think you'll ever see me with any new build contracts. I've tried it. The work itself wasn't too difficult or strenuous or intensive, or but the amount of money, I mean, to be competitive in that industry, the amount of money that you charge, that you'd have to charge per plot, like per house, I can't really see it being very profitable. The amount of work that's involved, and dealing with very strong hydrochloric acid and stuff every single day, having to mask up, all the hoops that you got to jump through for the health and safety side of things, the RAMs, the being able to work on all these different sites and all the different things that the site managers will want you to do. I just don't think it's very much about who you know in that sort of industry as well. So it's not really for me, I don't think. I've got a question. Have you had that machine serviced yet? I've had neither of my machines serviced. No. I've only ever serviced one machine, and that was my Equip to Clean Kiam 3700 PR, I think it was called. I serviced that. I didn't do the air filter on it. I just did the oils on the gearbox, the engine, and the pump. Didn't do the spark plug. Both of my machines are probably due for a service, to be fair. Hello Nathan, welcome to the live stream. Just starting, what would you recommend washer and buffer fixed in the van or on wheels with a bin buffer tank so that I can move it around? Oh, consider, when you say move it around, I understand what you're saying, but consider once it's in its spot, you're probably not going to be moving that buffer tank around. If it's like an access issue, then I understand. But once that bin is full of 210 litres of water, that's pretty much staying where it is until it's empty. You can't move one of them bins when they're full. So just consider that. And the lead hose, the suction hose that goes from the bottom of the buffer tank to the machine, you don't want that any more than about 2 meters. Like 1.5 meters is about the sweet spot, because if it's any longer than that, it's going to impede on its functionality. So if you imagine you've got your buffer tank here full of water, and your machine can only be within like 2 meter range of that buffer tank. Say you've got a 20 meter hose, or most machines come with about a 10 meter hose, but say you've got a 20 meter high pressure hose. You've got to have your machine and buffer tank in one spot pretty much, unless you want to drain that machine, drain that buffer tank and move it around. And then you've got like a 20 meter radius around that machine. So, I mean, we had to do it today. We pulled Jakey's machine out of the van, and we had to wheel it into the garden, but because he's got 40 meters of hose on his reel on top of the machine, it makes it very easy. So once you're in the place that you need to clean, having that 40 meter hose is really like convenient, which is why I opted for that frame with the hose on top. But if you've got a fixed length hose, like a short one, you may find that you're having to drain your buffer tank, unplug everything, move your machine, fill that buffer tank back up, and it can turn into a little bit of a nightmare. It depends what area you're from as well. If you've got like if you've got some massive houses with long gardens, you may find that even a 50 to 60 meter high pressure hose isn't enough, in which case you might want to consider going for a machine that you can pull out in and out of the van. I'd still be inclined to, if you can, get a van mounted system. I just think it's more convenient, it's less hassle, less strain on your back, or you don't need to carry ramps around with you to lift the machine in and out every single day. Your machine's not going to get absolutely battered and weathered and go rusty and get dirty. Like today is the first day that Jakey's machine got a splash of mud on it. And we've had it for like 5 months. Today was the first time it got dirty. So if you consider, if you're taking your machine out of the van every single day, it's going to start to get rusty, dirty, dusty. The wheels are going to start to fall off. You know, the amount of used machines that I've seen with like flat tires and broken wheels and damaged frames and all that sort of stuff, just from lifting it in and out of the van and wheeling it around the property. It's going to be wearing and tearing much, much faster than if you've got a van mounted machine. I suppose the best of both worlds would be to do what, I don't know if I'd recommend this to anyone, but to do what me and Jakey have done and have a mobile machine on a frame with wheels and a hose reel on it, and then just strap it down into the van, just so that you've got the option to take it out.
We've got about...
Let's see if I can show you an example of what Jakey's got. But if you don't want to do that, then I'd personally just get a van mounted machine. So what we do is, I can still lift this, we can still keep Jakey's machine in the van, and it will draw water from this tank, even though the tank is lower than Jakey's machine. For optimum performance, you want the level of the water in the tank to be higher than the height of the pump. But we have found that this does still work. and we can run both. We can run both machines off one hose reel like this. So this is Jakey's machine. So he's got the Honda GX390, 21 litre per minute pump, 200 bar, and then he's got the hose reel sat on top of it, and this is just ratchet strapped into the back of the van. So that's why we've got ours set up. So we just open the back doors. On a normal day, we take the buffer tank out, start filling that up, open the back doors, and just pull the hose out. So it's as if it's a van-mounted machine with a mobile buffer tank. It depends on what sort of properties you're going to be serving, I suppose. I'm thinking on starting up a power washer. Would you recommend? I'm thinking of starting up. What power washer would you recommend? I haven't really got one recommendation, to be honest. If you can find a local supplier, I'd recommend shopping local, somewhere that offers warranty, because things are going to break and they're going to wear out. And do some research on what, generally the Honda GX390 is the one that everyone recommends. That's the engine that you want. But a lot of people have started introducing the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard machines. Lots of Lonsin engines that people would recommend. Just go to a reputable supplier that have got some good reviews. Don't buy cheap, else you'll end up buying twice. I've never heeded that advice until I started working in this industry. I've always been a tight arse, but when it comes to pressure washing equipment, you get what you pay for. Nathan, I hope I answered your question, mate. I know it wasn't a yes/no answer, because different setups will suit different people. Hello, Wojtek. Welcome. How you doing? Good point per house. What do you charge on brick acid and potentially scrape the mortar? What you think profit wise? I don't think you can charge much more than about 150 quid per plot. And I wouldn't often do a patio for less than 150 quid, so it's like, why am I gonna wash a whole house and use acid and scrape all the mortar off the edge, off the bricks? Like, it just doesn't make sense to do it for any cheaper. But there's people out there that are probably doing it for like £90 per plot, and it's just, I mean, if it's regular, reliable work and you're happy doing that sort of work and stuff, then all the power to you. But it's just not something I can see myself doing. There are people that are just like, as with any of these jobs, window cleaners and driveway cleaners and stuff, there's people that are undercutting so massively that as long as they do the job, regardless of how it looks at the end, the site manager just wants to pay as little as physically possible, because at least they can say, oh, it's been done. Doesn't matter how well it's been done or how rushed the job was, as long as it's been done. Does anyone in chat or you, Jake, have any experience with the Hyundai 420? No. I think, is that the one that Darren sells? I've seen this one on Darren's website. That's a 420, isn't it? I think this is one of the few Hyundais that you'll get parts for in the UK. I think Darren can get like replacement parts for these. So if it does go wrong, at least you can fix it. Whereas if you buy something off Amazon, there's a chance you're not gonna. A lot of people, before I saw this on Darren's website, a lot of people were saying, I've bought a Hyundai off Amazon. This is broke. Something's broke and I can't get the parts for it in the UK, and like the shipping is just insane. So I'm stuck. No one will service it. No one will repair it, and I can't buy the parts. So I'm stuck with a broken machine. So that was very often the case with Hyundai machines that people have bought off Amazon and stuff. But if you get it from Darren, at least he can get the parts for you, and he'll service it, and all that sort of stuff. So, but watch the stream back, because we've just been talking about a different option that Darren's now doing for around about the £1,000 mark. Ubic 2000 food safe. I don't know what you mean by that, Alex. I'm in the process of looking for a van for my startup. What's a good size? Looking at a Peugeot Partner, Citroen Berlingo. Are these large enough? Must seat 3 kids as well. Must have 3 seats for the kids as well. I started with a Peugeot Partner that had 3 seats in the front, and it worked for me for a while, although I did find that I was struggling for space. Even Rich bought my van off me, my friend Rich. He bought my van off me to start his business earlier this year, and he's already like getting to the point where it's too small. So you'll find it'll be functional, it'll work. It's just you'll probably very, very quickly be looking for something bigger. So do you want to spend your money now and just get going, or do you want to save for a bit longer and get the van that you actually end up keeping? You know what I mean? Something like, I think a transit size, like something mid-size like that, is good for a single person with one machine, a gutter vacuum, some poles, all that sort of stuff. Buffer tank. I think about transit size is good. Unless anyone else has got an opinion. The Sprinter, my Sprinter, it's a L2H2. I think it's great if you want to be able to stand up in it and walk around in it. At the moment, I've got Jakey's equipment in there as well, so once he's got his own van and I can shift his equipment out of mine, I won't necessarily need to be driving around in a Sprinter. But while there's 2 of us, it's ideal, really. Is the Parker brand any good jet wash? ECS Limited. Welcome. Is it a good jet wash? I don't know. It's the one that started my business. So it was the one that I bought. If you scroll down to the bottom of my channel, my very first video was how I started my pressure washing business for less than £400. And this video features a little bit of I talk through the fact that I started with a Parker brand pressure washer. Is it a good pressure washer? It was good for a while. It was okay. It's a 11 litre per minute, I think, or 12. Good if it's not the only service that you're going to be offering. So it's good to have if you're a gardener or something, or if you're a landscaper and you need something to tidy up at the end of a job. I'd say it's good for that sort of stuff. It's a good if you're a homeowner and you've got a large property and you want to do a bit of jet washing and wash your car every now and again, I'd say it's good for that. It specifically says on the website that it's not designed for a commercial environment, so it's not designed to be ran for hours on end on the sort of jobs that we're doing as a professional. So if it's for an occasional use, absolutely fine. If you're looking to take pressure washing seriously, you're going to want to upgrade it very, very quickly, because it's being like 11 or 12 litres per minute. You're not going to be doing jobs anywhere near as quickly as if you had like a 15 or a 21 litre per minute machine, which is around about the industry standard. Don't get taken by all the high PSI figures that you see on like Amazon machines and stuff, because it's not really about PSI, it's more about flow, how many litres per minute your machine can put out, because that's really what gets you doing a job quicker. But mine sprung an oil leak after about 6 months, and I was doing jobs fairly slowly with it. As soon as I went for a 15 litre per minute machine and had a buffer tank and all that sort of stuff, I started racing through the jobs a little bit quicker. The benefit of that Parker brand machine is that you can plug it straight into the customer's tap, because most of the time you're dealing with properties that have at least 10 or 12 litres per minute coming out of the tap, and so you don't need a buffer tank. with some of these bigger machines, you'll need to put a buffer tank between the customer's tap and the pressure washer so that you're not starving the pressure washer. That'd be my recommendation. Hope that answers your question. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for watching, mate. See you in a bit. Anyone know why my GX390 is vibrating and moving around mid-revs? It's hard to diagnose without seeing a video of it or sort of being there in person, but are you confident there's enough water getting to the machine? So if it's requiring 15 or 21 litres per minute, are you confident it's able to suck that much water? You might find that if you're running it straight from a customer's tap, then it's not getting enough water, in which case it can introduce vibration. If you've got like, I suppose it depends what frame you've got as well. If it's always vibrated, it might be something to do with your unloader valve or the frame, or if it's vibrating down the lance, it could be something to do with your trigger or your turbo nozzle. It's hard to say, mate, without being there. Sorry. Maybe you can send me a video and I'll have a look. No worries, Matthew. Thanks. And do you think just starting would be better off getting a bigger van straight away? And yeah, good points, mate. I think I'll go van mounted at the moment. I'd go for as big a van as you can afford. Something like a Peugeot Partner or a Citroen Berlingo or something is you're going to probably outgrow fairly quickly, unless you're happy keeping your kit down to a minimum. You're not going to be introducing all these different services later on down the line. You're just going to be doing, I mean, once you've got a proper machine in the van, a buffer tank, a couple of barrels of chemical, your hose, a reel, brooms, a water-fed pole maybe. Gutter vacuum, did I already say that? I'm not sure, but it starts to get pretty cramped in there. And then if you think you've got to go resand a driveway as well, so you need to pick up 6 or 7 bags of kiln dried sand, it's like, if it's not already overweight and full, it will be soon. Ordered a new Panther head on Thursday afternoon, arrived Friday morning. Unreal. That is very good. From Gutter Vacuum Systems. How much was a new Panther head? I didn't know you could order just the because I've been thinking I could probably do. It's about time for a new oh, you can get it serviced. I can get just the head serviced. I'm guessing it's spares and accessories. Panther spares. Panther Shadow motor. Can you get the whole assembly? Is it the motor that you ordered? Is it just this bit? That's what it looks like inside. Interesting. Oh, dearie me. It's usually me and the 9-year-old, but sometimes need to collect the teen as well. Small third seat isn't the end of the world. You should be question is if the pump needs any maintenance or the only thing you maintain is oil, and that thought that Hyundai for. I don't know what you're saying there, Wojtek, sorry. Who's Darren? What's his name on Discord? Darren from PWS. His name is Darren. PWS on Discord. Motor was on the way out on the old one. It's still working, but God, it's had some use almost daily for 18 months. And doing so many gutters now, couldn't risk a breakdown. I've got a Vito van long wheelbase, that'll do the job. That's a good size van. I have a Transit Custom and looking for a bigger van like a Sprinter or Crafter or Transit. Okay. You need an L2 van apparently. Steve says that is the only way to go. No negotiation. Cheers gents, better start looking for larger vans. No worries Harry. Lots of pressure washers are supplied with one 3/4 inch supply hose, which isn't really sufficient for a 21 litre per minute machine. Ideally you want 2 3/4 inch feeds or a 1 inch feed from the buffer to the pressure washer. Okay, interesting. Most importantly, how did you turn your Titan vac to a gutter vacuum, Jake? My budget is too tight for the proper one yet. I wouldn't recommend it, mate. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. You'll be spending more money and energy and time trying to convert it and make it work well than you will be if you just hold out, save your money and buy the proper thing. Honestly, it's just not worth it. There's better ways to spend your time than trying to modify it. I promise you. Literally just the head, 279 quid. Motor is 100 quid plus service costs. Better to buy a new head and get a motor at some point for the old head and have a spare. Where I'm not seeing the head. I'm not seeing the whole head. Show me head. Can solar panels be cleaned? Google says you're not meant to, but Cameron, yes. Anything can be cleaned, mate. Depends which part of Google you search. If you ask the right questions, you get different answers. Pure Seal are now doing a solar panel cleaner. Solar Clean Pro. So this one is safe for use on solar panels. Most people clean solar panels with just pure water, but if you get the stubborn liching, look at that. That's impressive. What a result that is. What a fantastic picture for your portfolio, whoever's done that job. So the issue with just cleaning it with pure water, it's not actually going to kill any of the organics. So if you've got lots of liching on there and you manage to scrape the majority off. So you've got two options with solar panels, I suppose. Is you can just use pure water. And what I've started to do is get like a nylon scraper on the end of like a long pole. So I'll have Jakey scraping the liching, the hard liching that I can't get off with the brush, and then I'll be using the pure water or the whatever on the solar panels. That usually does a good job. I will, if it's super bad, I'll use the TFR. So the everyone tells you not to use TFR, but if they've got into the condition which requires you to use chemicals on them, then they're probably not being looked after anyway. Probably outside their warranty period, and as long as you get the result, I don't think the customer can really complain. Most manufacturers will say not to use any sort of chemicals on solar panels, but as long as you clear it with the customer and explain what it'll do. And generally, even caustic TFR, if you apply it, brush it on, and rinse it off really well, it's not going to have time to react with any of the frames or the metals or anything. If you were to leave it on and not rinse it off very well, then I can imagine it probably would cause damage to like some of the bits and bobs. Try and isolate the panels if you can. Although, even if you do isolate the panels, they're still drawing current. They're still. Darren will be able to explain more than this, but he's an electrician. But they're still live because they're still generating electricity from the sun. So you still got a risk of being electrocuted even if you've turned them off. But if you want to use something that's like officially safe on solar panels, then you could do this. I think the optimum goal, if you want to go into solar panel cleaning regularly, would be to get some hot water on them. Anything below about 60 degrees should be fine. You could do a combination. You could do the Solar Clean Pro and then rinse off with hot pure water. Would be like an unreal combination. Wojtek, I would 100% Klarna or credit card or borrow the money to buy a proper unit and use it for your first 4 jobs to pay off. That's a good advice from Matt there. I don't normally recommend that people like go into debt, but with a gutter vacuum, you'll make your money back so quickly that it seems silly not to. If you took someone that had literally no money whatsoever and they wanted to start a business and start earning some significant money, you could literally get a credit card or pay by Klarna, like Matt says, get a gutter vacuum and just start walking around your road. Or obviously if you've got a car, you'd probably drive and start knocking on people's doors and saying, can I clear your gutters? And you'll make that money back so quickly. Probably one of the easiest ways to start a business other than like window cleaning. Steve, any company that works on garden or construction machinery should be able to repair and service your pressure washer. They use the same few models of engines on all of them. Which Steve are you talking to there? I think I might have missed that message. Titan plus £150 poles plus clips working mint. Fair enough. I'd be keen to see some photos, Bombolina, of your conversion. The way, if you've, I think you mentioned, you might have sent me a message, I can't remember. Going from that 38 mil inlet that always blocks up, going from that to like converting it to a 51 mil inlet to stop it blocking up. I'd be keen to see how you've done that. I was wondering if you can get the parts for the Titan on a budget, as I already have one, so managed to get the parts for less than 100 quid. I'd do that, but you make a good point. It's a shame, like if you've already got a wet and dry vacuum or a Titan or something, it's a shame not to be able to use it, but the hassle of trying to convert it to like a larger inlet to fit the poles and the hose and have it not block every 10 seconds, it's just not worth it for me. Tomorrow I'm doing some gutters. Send it me on Instagram or something, or Facebook Messenger. I was sending you the pictures or video this week. Where to? Yeah. Anyway, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. I'd like to see the way you've converted it. I'm not being skeptical. I'm literally just interested. I don't know if my tone came across wrong then. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd go with the Panther personally. I'm very happy with mine. I've got the Panther and I've got the 3600 for like bigger commercial jobs, and I'm very happy with both of them. My Panther's lasted almost 2 years and it's still going strong. Go for the aluminium poles. Don't bother with the. Everyone will argue with me here, but I wouldn't bother with the carbon fibre. I'd go with aluminium. Less maintenance, less expensive, less chance of them breaking, in my opinion. The £150 bag is worth it too if you don't have an alternative. £150 bag. The bag's not £150, is it? Matt reckons the carbon poles can and will crack. Can anyone else oppose that statement? Has anyone else got carbon fibre poles that they've had for more than 12 months that haven't cracked? I've seen lots of people's poles that have splintered and stuff. It depends how much lightweight and rigidity is worth to you. I'd rather not have to replace my poles every 6 to 12 months because they're very expensive, the carbon fibre ones are. Buy a tent pole bag. I have seen those online. People have found... This is a very awkward position, but I needed to stretch my legs. I have seen tent poles, or isn't it flag poles? Flag poles. They're like aluminium poles that look almost identical to gutter vacuum poles. Probably not as lightweight. I forgot where people got them from. I don't remember. $1,700 yes. Yeah, the Panther. I've got aluminium poles and ordered 3 clamps from Gutter Vacuum Systems. Nice, Darren. Speaking of Gutter Vacuum Systems, they're in the chat. Welcome. Our pole bag is £57 including VAT with 4 large pockets for accessories. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it was 150 quid, Matt. What are you talking about? The GVS pole bag is 150 quid. You're full of nonsense, Matt. I didn't think that was right when I read it. I've had 10 clamped carbon poles for over 2 years, still sound. Really, Barclay? That's good to know. That puts my argument straight out the window then, doesn't it? Do you do any maintenance on your carbon poles? Have you got any splintering at the bottoms and stuff? I think they recommend that you use the PTFE spray on them. I use the PTFE spray on my aluminium ones as well. The range silver poles. I have carbon poles, but I like to do it by hand using the gutter hooks. But when I do use the gutter vacuum poles, they're ace. Did I get my maths wrong? I'm sorry. Yes, you did, Matt. GVS, do the carbon poles snap? You're a wally, Matt. Julia, is that Julia? That's behind the keyboard. I'd love to have you back on if you've got any time at any point soon. I know it's like probably peak season for you at the moment, so I'm sure you're incredibly busy. But if you do get a chance, I'd love to have you back on for another chat. I think it'd be a good time to do it. Oh, it is Julia. Okay. Maybe we wouldn't be spreading so much bullshit if you were here to correct us all the time. Don't make me do it. I'm not going to make you. You get very nervous, don't you, when you're doing videos? But you've got no reason to. You're always very good. No splitters. I use muck off carbon bike protection, just an aerosol can, probably once every couple of months. There you go. So Barclay, would you recommend your carbon fibre poles? Because I've seen pictures of not even necessarily Gutter Vacuum Systems carbon fibre poles. I've seen pictures of carbon fibre poles on these Facebook groups and stuff that are like snapped in half, and the edges are like frayed and feathered, and they haven't been used very much. But also, I also know how some people treat their equipment, and they're expecting it to like last forever, and yet they're just absolutely hoofing it in the back of the van, and it's just getting battered every day. They're dropping them on the floor instead of placing them down, and they're just like asking for trouble. Every time I've caused damage to any of my equipment, it's always been either through rushing or being clumsy with it. So like my X-Jet proportioner in the bottom of my X-Jet, I break those quite often from letting the trigger just drop onto the floor, because it always drops at a weird angle and smashes the bottom of the proportioner in. Triggers, if my triggers have started to leak, it's always because I've been reeling them in and just letting them drag along the floor, and they're just getting absolutely battered by the floor, you know. Different nozzles, fittings for my some of the fittings for my water fed pole I broke from dropping the end of the pole on the floor. All sorts of stuff. Cough cough, the GVS pole bag is worth the £57 plus VAT. There you go. 36 foot plus bag, 744 quid, 774 quid from GVS. Is that about the right price? Well, you got Julia in the chat, so you can avoid tech. You can ask her. And Julia, I want commission off of that purchase, please. Thank you. Yes, it's crazy busy at the moment. I'm flat out. I'll try and do another live with you at some point. No idea when at the moment. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Buy it right this second. You've been bullied into buying a gutter vacuum tonight. I wasn't even going to buy one. I started with the 44mm push fit ones, and mine were rubbish, but the 51mm clamped ones have been solid. There you go. There you go. Julia, do you lurk in this stream until someone mentions gutter vacuum systems? How often do you watch? Be honest. So I wonder how many other suppliers watch, because I was. You're right. Oh, thank you. Do you want to say hi to everyone? You tired? Mm-hmm. Say hi.
Hi.
There you go.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, now go away, please. Am I joking? I think there's a lot of suppliers that lurk in the background of this stream, and then when I say something slightly controversial, I get inundated with messages, and people tend to send videos of me around other suppliers saying things, criticising me. I don't know. I know it happens. I've seen the screenshots. Good to catch you live again. Hi, Jed. I've only ever got good things to say about gutter vacuum systems, though, because they've got good equipment, good customer service, and they're ethical. There's a lot of people that are trading out there that are just trying to get as much money from their customers as possible by any means necessary. That took a bit of a tangent, didn't it? I dip in and out, usually on my mum duties in the evening. Don't like lurking, but it's interesting to watch, and if I can help out, of course I will. Oh. Now that you said that, I'll go for Skyvac. No commission for you. I don't get commission from gutter vacuum systems, by the way. The only commission I get, we did a little collab last time we did a live stream together. I invented a product on the stream, which was quite funny. So there was one of the nozzles that I use regularly. I said, "Oh, is there any way, because this nozzle, this dirt breaker nozzle, that's the 40mm, but the 50mm nozzle, the 50mm dirt breaker, when you've got a flat gutter." I don't think I'm on the right section. When you've got a flat gutter, it has a habit of sucking to the bottom of the gutter and causing like suction. And so it sticks, and so it's quite hard to move around on a flat gutter when you've got so much suction from like triple motor machines and whatnot. I said, can you put like a little chamfer in it? Can you put like a little oval in it so that the air can still escape and it doesn't cause that suction, but it still works, just it's still a functional nozzle just as it was before. And Julie was like, yeah, maybe we could do that, I'm not too sure. And then within about 5 minutes, Mark comes into the room and he's like, oh, you mean like this? And he just made it. He literally just stuck it on one of his machines and modified this dirt breaker nozzle. I wonder if it's still on the website. It might not be. There it is. See, it's got that little curly bit at the bottom, the little curve to let the air escape out the sides. Within 5 minutes, he'd made this, and then they stuck it on the website the next day, and all the money that was generated from that, from the sales of that, they've basically put back into the live stream. And we've done a couple of giveaways. I think we did two £250 giveaways, which was incredible. And they've given away a roof scraper kit. They've given away an aluminium roof scraping pole. So although I'm not sponsored or I don't get commission on any of the sales or anything, they've done a hell of a lot for our little community here. I think it's a symbiotic relationship, and I like to recommend people that are doing good work. The more of those dirt gulpers you plug, the more you raise and the more you get for your giveaway. I'll never forget your face when Mark made that live whilst thinking logistics. Yeah, whilst you were thinking logistics. It's crazy. It was a very cool moment. GVS Predator is 10 out of 10. Brilliant. There you go. A little endorsement by Alex. I saw a stress test GVS video on their carbon fibre poles. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I think didn't 2 fully grown adults stand on one of your carbon fibre poles, like jumping up and down on it, and it didn't snap or break or anything? Pretty crazy. Went to Spotless Cleaning Supplies today in Wales. He reckons the gutter sucker is good and a bit smaller. Comes with a camera. Dunno. Not sure, Tracy. I like the Jewish way. If one makes money, let 3 others make some too. I've never heard that. I don't know what you mean. I'm guessing it's like build everyone up around you, maybe, which is my philosophy as well. So, Mark and Harvey stood on our 44mm push fits, 51mm push fits, and 51mm clamped carbons, 34 stone. There you go. And it was like between two, I think it was between 2 blocks or chairs or something. Stood right in the middle of them. Very impressive. Everyone, GVS are running a promotion of 0% off all products. Quick, go and buy the entire website. Julia, if you get 50 grand in sales between now and the next 10 minutes, can I have a free Phantom? I don't think that's how it works, mate. I think I'm going to go. I mean, this has definitely cheered me up. I was in a really bad mood before I started tonight, and just being able to talk and get all this stuff off my chest and just have conversations, it's really helped. So thank you, everyone. Like I said at the beginning of the live stream, if you missed it, last week I said that Darren said that it's getting more expensive to attend the Cleaning Expo, and the way I said it might have been misconstrued in that the Cleaning Expo has upped their prices, and that is not the case. The prices to attend the Cleaning Expo hasn't changed. So just wanted to put that out there, because I think the way I said it last week, it could have been taken either way, and they've got in touch and I just wanted to clear it up, basically. Mate, your signal's breaking up, can't hear you. That's pretty funny. Did we cheer you up? Yes, you did. Yeah. Julia says, come up with a raffle. I'll put up a Panther gutter vacuum and a 20-foot aluminium pole kit on your channel. Bloody hell. Wojtek, you shouldn't have bought it, mate. I'm only joking. That's very generous, Julia. I think I need my Panther servicing, because it's been 2 years and I haven't serviced it yet. So am I allowed to enter the raffle? That is incredibly generous. Reroll, yeah. A Panther gutter vacuum and a 20-foot aluminium pole kit on the channel. We'll do it. Should we do it next week? Should we do it this time next week? Monday. That's very generous. Thanks, Julia. Very cool of you. We're here for your little therapy session. Fixed. Reroll. Awesome. Thank you, Julia. That's a nice way to end the evening. Pre-Christmas present for someone, yes. Have you had a few? Me or Julia? No, I haven't drunk anything tonight other than coffee and Pepsi. I didn't buy it yet. You might want to wait till next week. Right, I'm going. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in a bizzle. Love you all. Now, these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit, on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching. Back to the video.